Brie. I wanted to make a video. I don't know if this is going to be a quick one. All my videos are long, but I kind of anticipate this one is not short. So please feel free to bill this as part of my parent training, because really these are things I would have just asked you during parent training, but I wanted to do a video so you had a second to kind of think about it and like give me your honest feedback. I feel like if I spring things on you in the moment, like you're so nice, you'll want to give me a nice response. And really, like if you hate everything that I'm about to say or things that I'm thinking about, I really want to know. I want to know, like from a behaviorist's perspective, like if this is a good idea or not. But this is about Max and his protesting. And I'm not like super duper concerned about his protesting like right now, just because I do think he's protesting a lot, but there's been so many changes and it's September and Mr. Ethan is new and all things considered, with all the crazy changes, I think he's doing incredible. I think Mr. Ethan is doing incredible. He's a great addition to the team. I just think everything is going really, really well. I know also Ethan has had a lot on his plate, and so have you, just getting the basics of like the academic program down. There is so much to Max's program. Like I know that things have to like be done in baby steps and little bits at a time. So I'm not trying to rush anything. I'm thinking about his protesting because, you know, we both know that his baseline, even when he's doing really well, is still high. Like that's just who he is. He's a verbal protester. And I wanted to address it last year many times. And so as a parent, like I made some videos last year and asked Helene to watch them. And I really think she did not like any of my parent ideas. And there were a couple of times I was pretty stressed about it because he was in that super anxious zone. And he's not there now. Like, at least I don't think so. I mean, you can let me know if you see different, but he doesn't at all seem anxious. He just seems very, I don't feel like doing this. But yeah, so last year, I don't think Helene liked my ideas, but probably because I'm not coming from a behaviorist's standpoint. I'm really just like coming from a parent point of view and how I'm kind of thinking about things in that way. So please, you know, when you give me feedback, do not feel shy. Like I'm really open. I just do want to kind of have a plan and kind of know where he's headed in terms of how to kind of tackle those protests. So I've been thinking about it a lot too, because believe it or not, this year at work, I have a ton of Maxes. Like I have a full 7th grade class in my life skills class of kids that are just so much like him in so many ways. And they're very work avoidant. They're not, I have a couple who are actually big verbal protesters, but most of them are not like verbally saying I don't want to, but they are very work avoidant in other ways. And so I'm trying to address it for them too. And to be honest, even my older 2 teenagers, like this is just, I swear, this is what I'm living in. I'm living in teenage hell. But just everything is no and I don't want to in my life right now. So, okay, so I've been giving it a ton of thought and how I'm thinking about things for Max. I'm thinking, like, as his parent, what is my end goal for him? It's the same for all 3 of my kids. When he doesn't want to do something, when they don't want to do something, I want them to kind of self-talk and question. My older kids, I expect them to do it internally. For Max, he'll have to do it out loud for a while, but I want them to do like self-check-ins. Like, am I ready to give this 100%? Am I ready to do this? And if not, what do I need to get myself ready to do this? So it's kind of the same concept as like when he was really anxious, like how does my body feel? What do I need right now to feel a little better so that I can get through? But it's a different kind of perspective where I'm not as concerned when he's not anxious. I'm not that concerned about like, you know, am I super happy right now? Or how do I feel right now? It's really more of a mindset of, am I ready to get to the table and get to work? Or do I really not want to? Do I have to get myself to a place where I can do a good job? So very simply, like, I want Max to ask himself that. Mr. Ethan would say, it's time to come to the table, it's time to do our work. Max would think, okay, I feel good, I'm ready. Or he would think, you know what, I'm not ready. I'm not ready right now. And then he would have maybe a choice board. What do I need that might help me be ready to come to the table? And then on that choice board would be all the things, you know, anything that might help him get ready. I need to take a sip of water. I need 60 more seconds of playtime to finish what I'm doing. I need to take deep breaths or jump on the trampoline or grab a quick snack or I don't know. I mean, I would have to think of like a full menu, but I like the idea, and I always kind of have from Max, of a visual menu of kind of pictures and choices, just because I think it takes the onus off the adults. So it's not like us controlling it, saying, hey, do you want to, or hey, you need to, or I think you need to, or, you know, just these are your choices. Like, I just feel like if we take the words out of our mouth and just kind of put it here, like on a visual, it's like it puts it 100% on him. Like, listen, you're either ready or you're not, and if you're not ready, one of these. Like, he's got to pick one. And my end goal for him would be that he would pick something, he would do it, it would help enough. I mean, it might not make him want to do the task, but it will help enough to get him then to the table without complaint, so he can give 100% and do a good job. So now, do I think that, you know, kind of teaching him to do that right away is going to work? Probably not, because I think Max has a history of, when we give him choices, he's kind of like, I don't want any of those choices. I'm not doing any of that. Lately, I mean, taking deep breaths is like a go-to for him, and he does a great job and he uses it a lot, but it's not always working. And I think sometimes you need variety of different things. And also, I don't know if he's ready to like jump right into that right now. So, oh, plus last year I think you did, and I know it was really working for him, you did the smiley face thing, but for that I'm not sure. I thought that was like more for when he was like feeling those anxious moments. And this whole kind of like checking in with himself, like, am I ready to do this? I think it should be like an all the time thing. So, if he's not ready to like just dive right in, I mean, and maybe you'll think he is ready. I don't know. But if he's not ready, I know for a couple of my students at school, not a couple, for a majority of my 7th grade boys in that life skills class at school, they are not ready either. So what I've been doing with them is just modeling. And that's just like from a speech therapist perspective. When my kids aren't ready, I model to the point of insanity, like to the point where it feels weird because I'm modeling so much, but the more they hear it, the more they see it, the more they internalize it. And I think that will work for Max for a couple of reasons. That might be a good place to start, because he is like a kid who internalizes mantras. So when he hears things over and over, he does internalize it and then start to use it. And then also I haven't seen much of his time at all, to be honest. Work has been busy, but I did see like a very short clip today, and it was kind of the cutest thing. He was supposed to come to the table and do work. You and Mr. Ethan were doing something. I just heard Max yell, "My way." And I know that's a Hanley thing, and he's not really doing Hanley, but I heard you tell Mr. Ethan, like, oh, I have another student who's doing that, and Max has been there when he's done it. So I thought it was really great. It was sweet that even though Max isn't doing that, you honored that for him. And then when it was over, he popped up and he came to the table and he did his work. And I don't know, I thought that was great. And I think the fact that he's seen Braden use that and get good things and good things happen, he thought he would give it a go. And it did. Good things happened. And then just that small thing of having like that, I think you only gave him like, I don't know, 30, 40 seconds, maybe a minute. And then he was just like ready. Now, like with all things, you know, I wouldn't expect that to work every single time, but I don't know, it worked in that moment. And I don't think Max needs Hanley per se, and I don't think he needs the language my way, but I do think kind of giving him something like that. Am I ready? You know what? I'm not. And then the choices. I think that would be good. And I think that's good because that's what I'm on a more, like on a less visual scale. That's what I'm trying to get my other kids to do. So Mr. Ethan, if you think it's not a bad idea, and sorry, I call him Mr. Ethan. I feel weird. I don't know why I feel weird calling him by his first name, but it's probably weirder that I call him Mr. Ethan when Max is not here. So I might have Ethan just model it, and that's what I'm doing with my kids. So let me just, I'm not even going to explain how I do it with my kids at work, but I'll tell you. So Mr. Ethan might just, Ethan, whatever, might just say, you know, Max, the timer went off. It's time for work, but am I ready to start with you yet, Max? Am I ready? And then sometimes he might be like, you know what? I'm ready, Max. Come on over to the table. And then other times he might say, timer went off, Max. Am I ready to work with you right now? You know what, Max? I'm not ready yet. I think I need a drink of water to be ready. Or, you know what, Max? I need one more minute to finish what I'm doing, and then I'm going to be ready to work with you. You know, just kind of modeling some of those things. And if Mr. Ethan, if he has a choice board that Max will eventually use, but he's not even asking Max to use it, if he's using it, to out loud say, am I ready? I'm ready. Great. Or am I ready? Nope, I'm not. I'm going to choose this. I think if he models it over and over and over for a while, before we even ask Max to do it, and Max starts to see that Ethan's mood gets really like bright after he gets an extra 60 seconds, or after he takes a sip of water, or after he has a little snack or whatever it is. And then also like Max is seeing good things happen and maybe a little extra break time. I don't know, maybe that will encourage Max to do it. And then maybe that will encourage him to kind of ready himself for working. So I can't imagine that Ethan is going to want to jump on the trampoline, but he might say, you know, do I need to move my body? And he might just walk around the room and then have a seat and be like, all right, Max, I walked around the room, I'm ready. And even if Max doesn't respond to it well right away, because Max is probably still going to be like, well, I'm not ready and I don't want to. I just think maybe that modeling, I don't know. I think maybe it will help. So I want your honest feedback. If these ideas are ridiculous, please let me know. I don't know, like, again, I know the conversations that I have with my older kids. With Max, it's so different because the language needs to be simpler and everything needs to be broken down. And so I want your honest feedback on what you think. If you hate this idea, I'm not offended at all, so don't be shy. Just tell me flat out. But then I'm just wondering, what can we do? What can we start to do for him to get himself ready to work? Because we're not going to be able to take away the I don't want to, because I don't think he's ever going to want to. Like, that's just who he is. So there's that. And then the only other thing is, I know that we're slowly and incrementally kind of doing things because there's been so much change, and Ethan, you know, it's a lot for him to learn all at once. But I am wondering what you think about potentially going back soon to kind of like a tiered reward system to really help Max remember what he's working for and encourage him to do good work and good things to get good things. So like right now, I think the world is his oyster. Like, he's got his iPad and he's got his toys and his trains, and he gets pizza for lunch and snack, and you know, he has all these really wonderful things. And I think that's important and it's good because we wanted him to pair with Ethan, and we wanted, you know, this whole experience to be a really great start for him. But I do think at some point soon he should probably be held accountable for his actions. So if he wants that iPad, if he wants, you know, an extra break, or he wants all these good things, or if he wants pizza for lunch, he really should work toward it by complaining less, you know, coming to the table. I know in the past he's done different things, like kind of like check-ins, like, did I come to the table without complaining? Did I do this? Did I do that? So I don't know what level he would be at right now, Bree, based on like your observations and what you're thinking, but some kind of maybe like a choice board of rewards for if he comes to the table without complaining a certain number of times in a morning. Maybe he gets something in the afternoon, or I don't know. I don't know how you want to work that. That's totally behaviorist domain. But I've been thinking about that just to kind of hold him more accountable, because it's kind of been, even with me, it's like I've kind of relaxed so much with that too. Like, he just gets dessert all the time. He just has his iPad, and I need to start holding him more to a standard. So I've been trying to do that by making those healthy sides and stuff for his lunch and making sure he's eating certain things before he gets rewards. But anyway, so whatever, and the reason I think this all ties into parent training is whatever you guys do during the day, I'm definitely going to do at home. So if you say you think it's a great idea to do all the modeling and the self-questioning, I want to do that. And if there's a tiered reward system during the day, there will be one at home with us at night too, because I am getting more pushback during cleaning time and certain other things. I want him to know, like, listen, if you can clean up without complaining, you get these things. If you do it with complaining, you get these things. But again, only if you think that that's a good idea and he's ready and it's a good time. So think about all of these good things and then let me know what your thoughts are during parent training. Don't be shy if it's stupid, or I'm sure you won't say it's stupid, but if you want to go a different direction, just let me know and we can talk about it. Because before I start adding in, and I made a copy of his sheet and I did start adding in some language and listening and social studies and science. Not a lot, but I started to plug some things in there. But before we go like into adding things in that capacity, I do kind of want to know what his plan is for his like behavior and protesting. Okay, that's it. Thanks.